Wednesday show, Wednesday show, Wednesday show, Wednesday show, where you're all in the know. We're gonna talk some Disney. Blah 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 blah. Hello, everybody. If anyone's on, I don't know. Can anyone? Is that what? Oh, it says we got people popping on. No one's in the chat room yet, though, or they're not talking in the chat room at least. Hello, hello. There we go. You got people popping on now. Hi, Christine. How you doing? You doing good today? Today we're going to be continuing our bracket series, which is one of my favorite series of them all. Oh my gosh, I just dropped my pen. One of my favorite series that we do here. And we've been doing a pretty good time so far on the bracket series. And we're going to be continuing it right now, right here. We'll just let people get on here for a second. But how everyone doing well? Hopefully everyone's doing well out there. The Frank fam is here. Oh, yeah. Doing great. How about you? I am doing great. We are we're a day away from the next race weekend expo, and then we got a 5K, 10K, and a 10 miler coming up this weekend too. So I'm extremely excited. But I'm also a little sad because that means it is the end of the Run Disney race season for 5 months without a Run Disney race, and that is just heartbreaking to me. But I'm doing good. I'm doing very good. Wonderfully Walt-filled Wednesday to you all. That is what let's talk about that for a second, because in case we have any new people, I have people who've asked me this in the past, but the reason Wednesday is spelled W.E.D.nesday is because W.E.D. stands for Walter Elias Disney. Just in case you didn't know, and you're new here. Hey, howdy, hey, welcome to the practice round. How you doing, Joe? Okay, so what we're going to be doing tonight is we're going to be continuing our Disney bracket. Next week, we'll be coming back and doing an episode all about the Run Disney race weekend. And then we'll probably go back to the bracket. And then possibly we're getting to that time of year where the parks are going to be open later. So we'll start doing a little sprinkle of bracket / in the park things / other things as well, to kind of just separate all of the stuff up with one another. But tonight will be a bracket night, which I am extremely excited for. Who else loves the bracket? Do you guys love the brackets too? Because I love the bracket series. I think the bracket series is fun. I think my 3 favorite ones that we do. Actually, I love everything that we talk about. I was gonna say a lot of stuff. It's almost time to get the Christmas decorations back. Why would you just not keep your tree up all year long? Do people do that? No, that's a good idea. Because then if you had your Christmas tree up right now, you would have about 6 months until you had to take it or put it back up. So, I think to me that works. Good. Thanks, Andy. I am doing good. I am doing very, very good. Okay, so tonight we're going to be going through and doing... I was going to say, okay, brackets are fun. I really like to connect the dots. I love connect the dots. I think connect the dots is one of my friends, Alex. I don't know if Alex is out there watching today, but Alex told me one time, she said she loves the connect the dots series because she said it's like one of those times where you can actually see how my brain works. My brain works in mysterious ways to most people. So she said that it feels like you can watch and I think it's true. I actually think if you want to really get inside of this thing right here, connect the dots is probably the closest way that you can actually get to that compared to anything else. Okay, so let's get this party started. We are indeed doing our 765th episode of The Wednesday Show in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 765th episode of The Wednesday Show. Today is April 17th, 2024, and I'm your host, as always, Brent Dodge. Hello. Today, we're going to be going through and continuing our Disney bracket series where you are voting to try to figure out what the best thing of Disney is. Now, we'll go into a little bit more details about that in just a second, but before we get to that, let's talk about our news for the week. First off, thank you everyone out there who's been joining us for our Saturday in the Park. If you didn't already know, every single Saturday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, we do a live broadcast from someplace found throughout the Walt Disney World Resort over on my YouTube channel. However, this coming up Saturday, we will still be doing a Saturday in the Park. I just don't know what time we're going to be doing the Saturday in the Park. So make sure you join us at some point. If you're not already subscribed and have like that little bell icon, it'd be over here if you're watching on YouTube. There's like a little bell. If you hit notifications all, then it'll give you a notification when we go live, and that way you won't miss a single live feed. And that's what you need in life. You need all the live feeds from Disney. Also, as we go through here tonight, we are going to be continuing trying to get more and more subscribers on here. The more subscribers you guys get us during the show, the longer we will be going into extra innings tonight. And let me tell you, today is an amazing day for my YouTube channel. So far, we are up 24 subscribers for the day, bringing us up to a grand total of 4,269 right now. Of course, as that goes up, we will be going through and having it so we go into extra innings all the way up to possibly 11 o'clock if that subscriber count keeps on going up. So if you're not subscribed already, subscribe, and then that's going to go up, and we'll go into more innings as the night goes through. Okay, and of course, as always, tonight's episode is sponsored by our It's Time to Sing a Little Song About Everybody. Sing a song that I have no idea where I'm going, but that's okay because I've got Patreon pals today. I didn't know where that was going, and I'm happy with how it ended up. My Patreon pals, if you want to become a Patreon pal, send me a message, and we will go through and have it so, I will give you the information. And, of course, Patreon pals truly do help me do all of the endeavors that we do. So more Patreon pals equals more amazing videos, pictures, and all that other fun stuff, including books. So keep on coming on, Patreon pals, and keep on throwing subscribers over here as well. Let's get started. So if you never joined us for our Disney bracket series, this is what we're doing. We are doing a traditional March Madness style bracket. We started off with 64 different things on our first episode 2 days ago, or 2 weeks ago. It was 3 weeks ago, but we've done 2 weeks of it, where you guys, the audience, actually chose 64 different things in 4 different categories. We had the categories of movies, attractions, characters, and miscellaneous. And as we go through here, we're going to have it so you are choosing different numbers and having it so we randomly put those different things together in their specific categories until we get to our final 4, where then the different categories are going to be going up against each other as well. So let's continue our bracket series right now. Our next setup is going to be, wait a minute, that's not what we want, is attractions. Attractions? Is attractions. So I need 2 people in the chat room, first 2 people to throw it out there. A number between number 1 and 10, first 2 numbers to pop up, will be our head-to-head competition for our very first round in tonight's series. So I'm looking for 2 numbers between 1 and 10. And we've got our first one is number 6. Our second one was number 7. So 6 and 7 are going to be going up against each other in our first round here. I haven't even had a chance to look at what it was yet. Ooh. Oh, this is actually a really interesting one. Okay, so side note. Right now, I have a few friends who are in town that have friends and family that have never been to Disney World before. They've been to Disneyland, but they've never been to Disney World. So we've been going through and taking them on all these different attractions. And some of the attractions that they want to take them on tomorrow and / tonight are the 2 that actually are going head to head. So let's get our first round together, because these are 2 attractions that are both relatively new attractions, but both very beloved by the people who frequent them. So let's start off with the older one of the 2. Is it the older one of the 2? I don't know. They literally came out within a year of each other. I think it's the older one. Okay, let's talk a little about Toy Story. Toy Story is an amazing area, Toy Story Land, I should say, is an amazing area filled with so many different details that pay tribute to all of the different Toy Story films. However, there is one that was brought in specifically for this land and was a brand new staple attraction. We already had Toy Story Mania. We already had something like Aliens Rolling Saucers over at California Adventure. However, for the very first time ever, we got Slinky Dog Dash, a Slinky Dog style roller coaster. And I know what you're thinking. because there are people, every time I talk about Slinky Dog Dash, there's always that one person who's like, well, actually, they have a Slinky Dog roller coaster over in Disneyland Paris, which they do, but it's literally, here's the head of it, here's the tail of it, and you just go around in a circle. I've ridden on it. It's I wouldn't say it's a roller coaster, but anyways, Slinky Dog Dash is a classic attraction that takes you on Slinky Dog. Now, the whole backstory of this attraction is Andy has decided to put his Slinky Dog on a brand new track called the Dash and Dodge track, and he's decided to put Slinky Dog on there to put a roller coaster for his toys all around the backyard. Us being the role of toys on the attraction, go around in Andy's backyard on the Slinky Dog roller coaster and have a wonderful time in the process. Along the way, we pass characters like Jesse along with Rex, and then, of course, Squeakers, not Squeaker. What's his name? Wheezy. Not Squeakers. I don't know where Squeakers came from. Wheezy at the end, who sings, "You got a friend in me." Bum, ba-dum. You got a friend in me. Going up against Slinky Dog Dash in our very first matchup of the evening is another attraction that makes people just want to yell out, Sivako! That's right, Sivako, or Rise to the Challenge, is the staple attraction found of Flight of Passage over in Pandora, the world of Avatar. Now, guests are allowed to go off into the planet of Pandora, and while they're there, they're able to actually be linked to a avatar that is going to take you on a flight of passage aboard a Ikran. So let's get to it. I wasn't prepared for flight of passage to be the one today. So let's get to it. You guys have about 90 seconds to throw your votes in. Which one would you like to have moved? That was the most anticlimactic way we've gotten to a vote. But which one would you like to have go on to the next round? It's Slinky Dog Dash or Flight of Passage? I can't even think right now. It was so hot today. Like I came home today and I had a little bit of a headache. I drank a lot of water, which has been helping my headache. And I love both of these attractions, I will say, but I think I know which one I would vote for, and I think it might be the one that other people would not vote for. And we're also going to do we'll do a little fun fact about this at the end of this. You know what? We'll pull it up right here. This is actually could be a very interesting way for us to go about doing the attractions that I never even thought about. Slinky Dog Dash and Flight of Passage. How many times has Brent Dodge been on both of them this year? I know for a fact how many I've been on one of them. I might not know where either one of them is. Let's go to Chopper Dave in the Sky. It's really rough up here right now. Okay, let's go to our votes instead because I can't find Slinky Dog Dash or Flight of Passage. I know I have not been on Flight of Passage this year yet. Not that I don't like the attraction, it's just always such a long line. But let's get to our vote here. We got 1 for Slinky Dog, 2 for Slinky Dog, 3 for Slinky Dog. Right now it's a 3-0, 3-1, 4-1. Flight of Passage almost killed me. 5-1, 6-1, 7-1, 7-2. Oh, wait, what just happened? 7-3. How in the world did this happen? 7-3. We have a 7-3 vote. Slinky Dog Dash, amazingly, he's moving on to the next round. I honestly did not think Slinky Dog Dash stood a chance in that, but apparently Slinky Dog Dash has moves on, which brings us to our next round, which is our miscellaneous category. I need 2 numbers between the numbers of 1 and 10. Throw them to the comments right now. Whatever is our first one to pop up will be the ones that we choose. 1 through 10. Let's get this bracket. Okay, first one that popped up is number 3 versus number 6. 3 versus 6 are going to be our 2 categories for today. Not today, but for our next round here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. This could be potentially a massive upset, and I don't want it to be an upset, but for some reason I feel like we might be in the makings of an upset here, people. So just bear with me, because let's start off with something that Brett Dodge loves very near and dear. Would you like some popcorn? No, you don't want that popcorn? How about we have this popcorn right here? You want this popcorn? No, you don't want that popcorn either? Okay, well, let's go to maybe this popcorn or this popcorn. Popcorn, not popcorn buckets, just popcorn. Good old Disney run of the mill, not run of the mill, it's not run of the mill at all. It's some of the most amazing, tasty snacks that you'll ever have in your entire life. Popcorn. I absolutely love Disney popcorn. It is one of those things that I always have it. So when I go to the park, I bring a popcorn bucket with me so I can get my $2.25 refill and I can munch away while I walk around or while I ride the people mover. And overall, I love Disney popcorn. Popcorn is some of the best things that Disney has ever done in the entire world. If you want a great, man, you could be rich if you weren't a shopper. That's not even like a quarter or 10% of them probably. But like a popcorn bucket, there's 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 a popcorn bucket. I'm not even lying. There's a popcorn bucket right below the chair too. Hakuna Matata. But there's lots of popcorn buckets. Anyways, popcorn. Disney popcorn is one of the tastiest snacks in all the world. It is my go-to Disney snack when I'm in the park. Obviously, ice cream is my number one thing. But as it is a snack to grab and go, popcorn, hands down. I have Disney popcorn at least once a week. I absolutely love Disney popcorn. However, there are things that give you happiness in the world, and Disney popcorn 100% is one of those things. But going up against Disney popcorn is something that is also very near and dear to my heart. And I know for a fact that I've got something to represent this within arm's reach here. Do you remember that episode where we just had it so I had to reach around and grab stuff? That was a good one. But let's do this. Let's just talk about, we have Disney popcorn on one end. On the other end, we have this. Castaway Cay. Castaway Cay is the private island for Disney Cruise Line. You go there and you're happy. You go there and you sleep well. You go there and you snorkel. You go there, you run a 5K. You go there, you go on the Pelican Plunge. You go there, you eat cookies. You go there, you eat cookies too. You go there, you ride a bike. You go there, you go off to the adult area. You go there, you go up the tower. You go there and you have life given to you all around you. And there's ice cream everywhere. It's amazing. It is literally paradise. There is nothing better in the world than Castaway Cay. And I stand by that. I think Castaway Cay might be paradise on earth. And there are times where I am sad because I am not on Castaway Cay. And that's going to bring us to our next vote. Which one would you like to move on to the next round? Popcorn, Disney popcorn, or Castaway Cay? You have 90 seconds to throw your votes in right now. Oh, I want to go to Castaway Cay so bad. It's been too long. It's I mean, there's everything: the kayaking, the snorkeling, the bike riding, the 5K, the cabanas, the ice cream, the ice cream, the ice cream, the ice cream. Oh, I want to go to Castaway Cay so bad right now. It's paradise on earth, and I feel so bad for Disney popcorn because I don't know how it's going to win this fight. Like, Disney popcorn, I salute you. You are loved by everyone. But, oh my gosh. I know we don't even get Castaway in September, but we get Lighthouse Point. I'm excited for Lighthouse Point, but at the same time, I feel like I'm going to be cheating on Castaway Cay. Isn't it the same ice cream at the park? No. Oh my gosh, Joe, the ice cream. And oh my gosh, in Castaway Cay, it's a self-serve. You get to do it yourself. There's cones. You pull down. You want the chocolate, you get the chocolate. You want the vanilla, you get the vanilla. You want the strawberry, you get the strawberry. You want the banana, you get the banana. You want the swirl, you get the swirl. If you want the other swirl, you get the other swirl. Oh my gosh. Eating ice cream on Castaway Cay is not one of the most simple pleasures. It is the best pleasure in the world. If I could choose what I could do for the rest of my life, it would be sitting on Castaway Cay with an ice cream cone and then running off to do the Pelican Plunge and then running back and get another ice cream cone and then running off to go snorkeling and then running back to get another ice cream cone. Oh, let's do the vote. Oh my gosh, I love Castaway Key. If Castaway Key does not win this vote, there is going to be lots of tears on my face. We've got Popcorn's got one. Wait, Popcorn got a vote. Castaway Key, it's not even close. 2-1 for Castaway Key, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, 6-1, 7-1. And not only is it like a vote, it's like a cajillion votes in one. 8, oh no, that's just 8-1, 8-2, 9-2. We have Castaway Key is moving on to our next round here. Congratulations. I apologize, Popcorn. You were entered into a losing battle, and I truly, truly, truly apologize that you were given the cards that you were dealt. But those people out there, they were the ones who did the votes, and you know, if you want to blame anyone, blame them. But let's go on to our next vote. I need two numbers between the numbers of 1 and 8. We are going to our movie category. 1 and 8. Throw them down into the comments right now. First two that pop up will be the ones. Get 2 chocolate chip cookies and at Cookies Barbecue and put ice cream in between them to make an ice cream sandwich. You're welcome. Yes, life is amazing. 8 versus 2. That is going to be our next round here. 8 versus 2. What is going to be our lineup? Oh, this could be wow. This could be a matchup here. Okay, so let's start off with the old one. And I know when you start to hear what the old one is, you'll be like, that's not an old movie. Because you're right, it's not an old movie. I was 18 years old when this movie came out. Back in 2002, we got a movie that truly took the world by storm. Like, truly, when you look at all these different Disney movies and try to figure out what really took the world by storm, this is one of those movies that I look back at and think, holy cow, did it change the course of Disney fans? Because there are so many Disney fans who truly fell in love with Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch, of course, takes place on the island of Hawaii, but it also takes place in outer space, not space. It takes place in outer space, where Experiment 626 is a mass destructive object. Well, he's a creature that is sent or is created specifically to destroy pretty much all life form anywhere by Jumba. He is sent off into exile, and while he's on the way to exile, he actually kidnaps this. Well, he doesn't kidnap. He hijacks a ship and lands on to Earth, or as they say in the film, Earth. And when he lands on Earth, he lands in Hawaii. Now, the great thing about this film is because Experiment 626 is destructive, he would not be able to last without a lot of major cities, and he can't go in water. And because of that, it's just ironic that he lands in Hawaii. Although I'm pretty sure the animators had something to say about it. They could have put him in New York City, but they did not. They put him in Hawaii. So there he meets a lost soul named Lilo, who, Lilo, of course, is Hawaiian for fall apart, and that makes the title Fallen Apart and Stitch put back together. So Lilo and Stitch, a beloved a beloved movie that I truly do enjoy. It was one of those films I remember going to see in theaters, and I absolutely fell in love with it. However, I also fell in love with the next film that we're going to talk about here as well, which is another classic film, and it's a princess story without being a princess story, and it's about a girl who doesn't need a man, even though she's told that she needs a man. I know you're thinking right now, what are you talking about? Well, you have to go and find a man and tell him, I am Moana. You will take me to Tafiti, and we will restore the heart of Tafiti. So, anyways, I completely butchered that line. But Moana tells the story about a girl who is chosen for destiny to restore the heart of Tafiti to its rightful place. She goes across the entire ocean, and along the way, she finds Maui, along with her chicken Heihei, and the three of them go on an epic adventure filled with coconuts, filled with guys who like things that are shiny, and of course, we even have things like proclamations of who they are by yelling out, I am Moana, which brings us to our next vote. Which film, remember we were talking about the film, not the characters, which film would you like to have move on to the next round, Lilo and Stitch or Moana? You have 90 seconds to throw your votes into the comments, starting right now. Bum, bum. Okay, I love both these films. However, So, okay, Lilo and Stitch, I feel like if we have a huge Lilo and Stitch fan base that's in the chat room right now, Lilo and Stitch will move on. Lilo and Stitch is one of those films that a lot of people I know are obsessed. Like I used to work with a guy obsessed with Lilo and Stitch. Like it was everything Disney has to be Lilo and Stitch. Like it was his favorite thing ever. He loved Stitch. He loved Lilo. Hence, he loved Lilo and Stitch. And but then at the same time, I know so many people who are obsessed with Moana, who are just the animation they think is beautiful, the soundtrack is beautiful, and everything about it. I honestly I can see both of these films moving on to the next round, and I also have a feeling that this one could end up in a tiebreaker. But you guys have about 15 seconds left to try to figure out which one's moving on to the next round. Is it Lilo and Stitch or is it Moana? Who knows? But we will find out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we've got 1 vote for Moana, 2 votes for Moana, 3 votes for Moana. I could have been wrong. I thought Lilo and Stitch had a better chance of this. 4 votes for Moana, 5 for Moana. Lilo and Stitch has a vote. 5-1, 5-2, 5-3, 5-4, 5-5. Are you kidding me? And 6-5. Moana wins by a single vote at the last second here. Holy cow. Moana is moving on here. I cannot believe that was that close. I was thinking it could be close. I did not think it was going to be a 1-vote victory, but we do have it. So Moana is moving on to the next round. And as I said, there are a lot of Moana fans. There are a lot of Lilo and Stitch fans. And I do apologize to those Lilo and Stitch fans that Moana did move on. But we are now going on to our character category. We have 8 characters that are left. I need 2 numbers between 1 and 8. Throw them into the comments. First 2 numbers to pop up will be the characters that we have going head to head here. Okay, we've got number 4 is the first one that popped up, along with number 8. 4 versus 8 is going to be our next head to head challenge here. Okay. I know what should win, but I also know how much you guys like cruel irony, and because of that, I have a feeling that this could be a lot closer than I think. So let's start off with a classic character. Now, if you ever have seen a Disney movie, or if you've ever, maybe not every Disney movie, but if you've seen a Disney movie, or if you've gone to a Disney park and gone to the castle and watched a fireworks show, or if you've gone through and watched The Wonderful World of Disney, the actual television show with Walt Disney, there is a very, 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 very high chance you have seen this beloved character who actually sits on the back of the Wednesday show wall. Not Peter Pan, but Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell was first announced back in the 1953 film, Peter Pan, where she took over the hearts of everyone. Actually, not quite, because a few years later, 2 years later, when Disneyland was under construction, they were going through and creating the Disneyland television series. And when they created the Disneyland television series, we talked about this with Jiminy Cricket, but Walt Disney wanted to have it so he did not associate Mickey Mouse or popular characters with the park, just in case the park failed. And so he decided to use 2 characters that were popular, but they weren't insanely popular. And one of them was Jiminy Cricket, and the other one, of course, was Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell then would go off into superstardom because of the Disneyland project, where she is still known and loved today by millions of people as one of the most beloved characters of all time. Going up against Tinkerbell, however, is something that people have been waiting for a few years now. Now, if you've been following me here on the Wednesday show for any time, you know that in the past we have done multiple brackets much like this. At one point, we had the best brackets for best side characters. When we did the bracket for best side characters, it came down to a tie, and I had to go through and kill off a character. I don't even remember who I voted for, because for the last few years, those people in the chat room have been destroying me about how I killed Coda. That's right, Coda. Going against Tinkerbell is Coda. Coda from Brother Bear, who is a lovable little bear who is the sidekick to Kenai in the film Brother Bear. But Coda would go through and say things like, I'm Coda. So that's all we're going to give about Coda, because I have a feeling Coda might win, because I feel like people have been wanting vengeance to me for years. So you guys have 90 seconds. Throw in the votes. Who do you want to move on to the next round? Tinkerbell or Coda? If the greatest irony of all would be if it comes down to a tie and I have to kill Coda a second time. that that would be the funniest thing that would ever happen in the show. Oh my gosh. I hope it comes down to a tie right now. Like, part of me wants to die, while another part of me is fearing for Tinkerbell's life, because I absolutely love Tinkerbell. I love Coda too, but apparently people don't remember that part of the argument last time. They just want me to kill off. Well, they just want to go through. Hey, well, Coda's the worst. Blah blah blah. Or no. I think I'm looking at the chat room right now, but from both Facebook and YouTube, and it's going to be close. This is going to be actually a very close one. I might be killing Coda a second time, which we're going to have to just keep on bringing him back, as I just like slowly murder this little bear. Much like Kenai's brother killed his mother. I'm killing him. Oh my gosh. I don't even know how much time we have 15 seconds left. 15 seconds to throw your votes in. We even have people. I hope it's a tie, so you have to kill Coda again. I think enough people are having vengeance on Coda that Coda actually might win this thing. Okay, let's get to it. We've got one for Tinkerbell, one for Coda. You're tied right now. Okay. Tinkerbell 2-1, 2-2, 3-2 with Tinkerbell in the lead, 3-3, 4-3, Coda in the lead, 4-4. We have a tie. 5. Oh my gosh, it's a tie. we have to go through and count this again. There's no way it's tied again. Votes are done. Votes are done. No one else can vote after the Shelly comment, because if this comes down to a tie, it's the funniest thing in the world. Okay. Okay, one vote for Tinkerbell, one for Coda. It's 1-1. It's a tie. We're gonna go to ties, and then Tinkerbell's up by 1, and then it's a tie. Tinkerbell is up by 1, then it's a tie. Coda's up by 1, and then it's a tie. Coda's up by 1, and then it's a tie. We are literally tied again. I have death threats coming in to the chat room. We have recounts. We have, oh my gosh. Okay. Now here's the thing. I could do the really funny thing. I could kill Coda, because if I kill Coda in this section right here, or I could have, hey, Ride the Teacups, how you doing? Okay, so I can have it so we kill Coda a second time, or I could go for Tinkerbell. Now, here's the thing. My heart of hearts says I have to vote for Tinkerbell, because I love Tinkerbell. Everyone loves Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell is just a classic character that everyone knows and loves. However, for the last 3, maybe 4, maybe 5 years, I don't know, it's been a while since we did that vote, and I had to kill Coda the first time. I have been living with that pain. There's days where I dream about that little bear coming to me, begging me for life, saying, please, just save me. I'm Coda. And I think about how that poor bear lost his mother and then lost his own life by my hands. And because of that, and only because of that, I'm going to have to say that Coda, you're dead again. Tinkerbell's moving on. Tinkerbell is moving on. We have killed the same character twice. You know what? I have a thick enough skin. I've been living with the murder of one bear for 5 years, and guess what? I'm going to continue to live with that murder even longer. And that's going to sound really weird to Ride the Teacups, who literally just entered into the chat room. But Tinkerbell is moving on. I cannot kill Tinkerbell. I can kill Coda. I've done it before. I'll do it again. Okay, we are moving on to our next category, which is going to be our attractions category. I need 2 numbers between 1 and 8. Throw them into the comments starting right now. You are vicious. What? Oh, I can't believe I've had to kill the same character in 2 different brackets. Oh my gosh. I really hope a bear isn't your spirit animal. I've killed it. We got number 7. I need one other number between 1 and, was it 10? 8? 8? 1 and 8. We have 7. We just need one more number. Tell everybody I'm on my way to the tomb of me. It's a 1 through 8. It's 1 through 8. I apologize. I misspoke when I said 1 through 10. So we have 7 and 2 are going to be the first ones that are between 1 and 8. Let's find out. No, don't unsubscribe from being a Patreon bill, please. Wait, what was the numbers? 2 and 7? Yeah, 2 and 7 are going to be our two numbers here. Let's figure out what's going next. Oh, interesting. I can't believe. I really can't believe that I had to kill the same bear twice. Like that. It's one of those things that as soon as I saw Coda was going to be in this thing again, I was thinking there is a chance that I'm gonna have to kill this bear again because enough people will want vengeance on this bear that they will forcefully tie it to forcefully force me to forcefully kill a bear again. But that's besides the point. That's in the past, much like Coda's life. Let's move on to our next one. Our next one is a head-to-head of two attractions that both have very unique histories about them. Both of them have been in Fantasyland, and one of them has not been in Fantasyland, if that makes any sense at all. Even though the one that has been in Fantasyland at one point is at the same location it was when it first was there. Let's just get to it. We're talking about the Barnstormer. The Barnstormer has been a staple attraction since the 1996 renovation of Mickey's Toontown Fair. Mickey's Toontown Fair would open up along with the roller coaster, and the roller coaster was beloved by me and maybe 5 other people. Goofy's Barnstormer takes guests on a rollicking ride through Goofy's farm. And it literally is like a 45-second ride. But at the same time, those 45 seconds are 45 seconds you'll never forget. Along the way, you are piloted by Goofy through a barn, or through a sign now these days, and through a crazy, crazy amount of fun. Overall, it was probably the first roller coaster by so many different children, including my niece and nephew. And because of that, I will forever love the Barnstormer. However, going against the Barnstormer is an attraction that is retired at Walt Disney World. However, it is still going strong over in Disneyland. And that ride takes us merrily, merrily, merrily on our way to nowhere in particular. That's right, we're talking about Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Now, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride has been around since the park first opened up in Disneyland back in 1955, and it actually was an opening day attraction at the Magic Kingdom as well in 1971. The attraction, of course, is based off the 1949 classic film, The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad, but mainly just the Mr. Toad portion. And while you go through on a merrily, 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 merrily ride to nowhere in particular, you go on a harrowing trip that eventually leads you to HE double hockey sticks. That's right, you end up in hell, and it's one of the most crazy endings of any attraction. And it's also one of only 2 Disney attractions that you actually die during, the other one being the Haunted Mansion. And that's going to bring us to our next vote here. Which one would you like to have go on to the next round? The Barnstormer or Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, where at the end, when you're in hell, you might see Coda, who's died twice. Oh, you got about 90 seconds to throw your votes in. We're merrily, 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 merrily on our way to nowhere in particular. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-da-dum. I think the interesting thing is I know we do have some followers who have not gone to Disney World when Mr. Toad's Wild Ride was around and have never been to Disneyland. So I think there are a few people who will be like, well, I've been on Barnstorm, but I've never been on Mr. Toad. So it could be a very interesting vote that we've got going on here. Hey, Candace. Okay, let's see here. You guys have about 15 seconds left to throw your votes into the comments below. I do love both these attractions a lot. If I have to continue my murder spree tonight, it would be awful. Please. Oh, these people in the chat room, what are you doing to me? Okay, let's go through. We have 1 for Barnstormer, 1 for Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, 2-1 right now, 3-1 Mr. Toad, 4-1 with Mr. Toad in the lead, 4-2, 5-2 with Mr. Toad by a mile. 5-3, 6-3, 6-4, 7-4, 7-5, 7-6, 7-6. Wow. Mr. Toad wins by 1 vote. You guys are doing really good with like the vote. Like these are actually really random. I mean, you guys are literally just throwing numbers out at me. And the fact that every single one of these votes is coming down to like 1 or 2 points is absolutely mind-boggling to me. All right, we are going to our miscellaneous category. We need 2 numbers between 1 and 8. Throw them into the comments starting right now. Wow, this is actually a really good, like the miscellaneous one that we have left. I don't even know what I would vote for. Like but I don't even know which one's my favorite. Honestly, like this is a really good category. Okay, our first one was 8. Our second one was 3. 8 versus 3 is going to be our next matchup here. Oh, and this is going to be... I'm almost positive I know what's going to go, mainly due to the fact that the location of one is a place that probably not a lot of people have gone to, Disneyland. And then the other one, if we have Disneyland people in the chat room, they're probably not going to vote for the other one because it's a Disney World exclusive thing as well. Both of these things deal with food. And not only do they deal with food, but both of these things are 2 of my favorite restaurants that Disney's ever created. Like 100% one of my favorite places in both Walt Disney World and Disneyland. If you ask me what my favorite restaurant in Disneyland is, 100% it is the Plaza Inn. The Plaza Inn has been a staple attraction since the days of Walt Disney. In fact, if you go over to the Plaza Inn, you can have the best, I'm not like just saying that lightly, the best fried chicken you'll ever have in your entire life. If you've never been to Disneyland, go to the Plaza Inn next time you go to Disneyland. If you have gone to Disneyland, if you've never gone to Plaza Inn, go to the Plaza Inn and get some fried chicken. The fried chicken is unbelievable. So unbelievable that it's actually one of the one and only experiences that's around because of Walt Disney still to this day. This popular chicken is so popular by Walt Disney. I'm sorry. It was, well, I don't even know what I'm saying. Walt Disney loved this chicken so much that when he was pretty much on his deathbed, when he knew he was not going to be going on through life any longer, one of the things that he actually made sure to be a staple of the Disney park was the fried chicken. That's how much Walt Disney loved the fried chicken as well. It is a beloved food at a beloved restaurant called the Plaza Inn, still to this day, right by the hub at Disneyland Resort. The fried chicken's good. However, we also have an amazing food option over in Walt Disney World. Because if you said, Brent, what's your favorite restaurant in all of Walt Disney World? I would say Ohana, but we talked about Ohana last week. And then you might say, well, what's your second favorite restaurant? And then I would say Liberty Tree Tavern. Liberty Tree Tavern is another dining experience here at the Walt Disney World at Liberty Square. Inside of Liberty Square, we have this amazing staple restaurant that has several different dining rooms. Now, not only do you get a Thanksgiving Day feast every single day of the year for all you can eat turkey and stuffing and cranberries and what have you, it's an amazing meal, one of the best ever. Also inside this classic restaurant, you can go through into several different rooms, including the George Washington room, the Betsy Ross room, Thomas Jefferson, and so many more. Fun fact about that is while you're actually inside these rooms, every single room has an actual piece of history that was owned by the person's room that you are currently sitting in. So for instance, if you go into the Betsy Ross room, there are some little bottles on the wall. One of those bottles was actually owned by Betsy Ross. And that brings us to our next vote. What would you like to have move on to the next round? Would you like to have the Plaza Inn or Liberty Tree Tavern? You've got about 90 seconds to throw your votes in right now. By the way, I don't think people who've never been to either one of these or have been to one but not the other realize how difficult this is. Because people like Eric, I know, loves both of them, but I have a feeling I know which one he's going to pick, and I think it's going to be the opposite of what most people would pick. I think it's going to be a very interesting head-to-head here. Oh, it's not even close. It's just a runaway. Okay, we got Plaza Inn. I love both, but fried chicken makes Plaza Inn win everything. That's the one that I thought. I thought you were gonna say Plaza Inn because that fried chicken is on. Oh, last time I went to Disneyland in January, I went to Plaza Inn 4 times. I think it was 4 times because it's so good. It's so good. Okay, right now it's a 2-0 vote, 1-2 Liberty or 3-1. This is Liberty Square, but later on I see another vote says Liberty. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, 1-2-1 or 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, 3-3, 4-3 with Liberty Tree in the lead. 5-3, 6-3, 7-3, 8-3, 9-3. Oh, and I'm a Disneyland guy. 10-3. It is a 10-3 vote. Liberty Tree Tavern is moving on. I do like that comment though. Liberty Tree Tavern, and I'm a Disneyland guy. I love both of these restaurants. I think I would have voted for Liberty Tree Tavern, but it really would have been a close vote for me too. Okay, we are moving back up to our next category here. And that category is going to be movies. I need 2 numbers between 1 and 6. We're getting down to the nitty gritty here for which ones we have left. First 2 numbers that appear in the chat room are going to be our randomized things, number 1 through 6. What would you like to have move on? Or which would you like to have go head to head? Okay, the reason I would choose Liberty Tree Tavern is mainly due to the fact that it's more expensive, so it's more of a I don't get to experience it as often. 6-3, which is funny because it's right here. That's okay. By the way, our first 2 numbers on YouTube were 6-3, and then the first 2 on Facebook were also 6-3. So this one was made for Destiny because actually, ironically, talking about Destiny, we are going to be talking about Destiny. Okay, let's talk about Rift Rat, Street Rat. I don't buy that. Only they look closer. That's right. We're going to be talking about the 1992 classic film Aladdin. Now, Aladdin tells the story of a street rat named Aladdin who just dreams about being something more. Along the way, he meets Princess Jasmine, and then he is kidnapped by a man named Jafar. He has gone over to the Cave of Wonders where he discovers the magic lamp. He rubs it, and he is granted 3 wishes by Robin Williams, aka the genie. And along the way, there is chaos that ensues, but overall, it's an amazing film filled with lots of laughs, lots of hugs, and lots of adventure. Going up against it is another film filled with lots of laughs, lots of hugs, and well, maybe not hugs, but lots of adventure for sure. Going up against Aladdin is a live-action film, which is probably one of the rarest live-action films that I thought someone was going to throw into our thing, but here we are, and I'm so happy that this one was included. Because not only did this one inspire a spin-off movie, but it also inspired a spin-off Disney Plus show that I'm still upset that was not renewed for a second season because I think the first season was amazing. Absolutely loved it. But we're not here to talk about the movie or the sequel or that. We're here to talk about the first film. Benjamin Gates was part of a secret society. Well, not a secret society, but his great-great-grandfather is doing fine. I'm doing fine. What? I come from the year 3000. That's Jonas Brothers, right? Benjamin Gates, of course, is from the film National Treasure. In the film National Treasure, his great-great-grandfather has received secret messages about a secret society and a treasure that is found someplace in America. Along the way, Benjamin Gates and his friend Riley had to steal the Declaration of Independence and go on a hair-raising adventure all around not the world, but all around America as they tried to uncover where on earth this hidden treasure is. Along the way, we do have lots of adventure, we have lots of laughs, and of course, we also have a vote. So which one would you like to have move on to the next category? Is it Aladdin or National Treasure? You have about 90 seconds to throw your votes in, starting right now. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I don't like this game anymore. This is a really interesting vote because both of these movies are really good, but they're nothing like each other. And I am kind of curious what people are going to vote for. I think they're both great films. Great films. And actually, now that I think about National Treasure, I kind of want to go back and watch National Treasure right now. That might be the movie that I watch tonight. We will see. Okay, let's go through here. We still have about 10 seconds left to vote, but Eric's got National Treasure there. I get a drink there. All right, we got one vote for National Treasure, one for Aladdin. Aladdin is now in the lead, 2-1. We are tied at 2-2. Aladdin takes the lead again. We have the 3-2 vote, 4-2 vote, 5-2 vote, 6-2 vote, 7-2 vote, 8-2 vote. Aladdin does win that round. So let's move Aladdin on to the next one. I thought National Treasure might get a few more votes, but sadly for it did not. Okay, let's move on to the characters round. We have 6 numbers that we are going between. Choose your 6 numbers in the comments starting right now. First 2 to the pop-up are going to be the 2 that are going to be going head-to-head against one another. I liked it better when Frank Fam was split up on their votes. That is true. Frank Fam, did you guys have like some family meeting or something where you sat together and said, you know what, we've been divided for too long. We need to come together because life is it's too far apart when we're all on opposite ends of things. That's how it feels tonight, because the Frank Fam is there's been some counseling. There's been some, I don't know if they just got together and had ice cream and they realized that maybe life would be better if they all just joined hands and sang together. But I know for the fact that they first started doing these different, things because they were teaming up against each other. Now instead it's like they've made an alliance, like it's Survivor or something, and they've realized that maybe a stronger alliance will get them further. Even though we're not even competing for anything, we're competing to have something else be the winner. Oh wait, someone stole my phone. A thread or two may have played a part. Okay, right now we only have one number that keeps on getting voted. We have 2. We're still waiting for one more number between 1 and 6. Let me write down who number 2 is though. In the meantime, we're still looking for one more number here. So he says just kidding, but blink twice if you're okay. And 4. 2 versus 4 is going to be our next vote here. Oh, this is going to be an interesting one too, because this is another one of those. We've had a lot of matchups so far where it's very beloved characters, and this is another one of those matchups. So let's start off with one of the most iconic, one of the most amazing, one of the most fantastic characters of them all. He's man's best friend, or in this case, Mouse's best friend. We're, of course, talking about Pluto. Pluto has been around since 1930. He is one of the most beloved characters ever in the history of Disney. Now, Pluto is the loyal, faithful dog to Mickey Mouse, sometimes Minnie Mouse, and sometimes he's a guard dog, and sometimes he's a prison dog, and sometimes he's a bloodhound, and he's been a lot of different things. Pluto has done a lot in his long career in cinema. However, no matter what he is always our best friend, because Pluto is just one of the most beloved characters of all time. Going up against Pluto, however, is a character who you just can't help but want to hug, because he's just always so gloomy. He's always so sad. He's always so, Eeyore. Eeyore lives in the 100-acre woods with Christopher Robin, and he is just a very depressed donkey. Now, because he's a donkey, of course, that's how he got his name. Eeyore, Eeyore. Fun fact that some people just never seem to really know. But that's the fun fact we're going to throw out there. We're going to throw at you out there right now. Eeyore always loses his tail, and altogether, he just has a very rough time going through life. But because of his pessimistic side, we just can't help but feel a little bit sorry for the guy. So that is going to bring us to our next vote here. What would you like to have move into the next round? Would you like Pluto or Eeyore? You have 90 seconds to throw your votes in, starting right now. How am I supposed to choose? I appreciate this little ghost face. I think that's hilarious. I think this is going to be a tough one. I think this is going to be a very close one, because I know a lot of people who are obsessed with Pluto. And I know a lot of people who are obsessed with Eeyore. And I think I know who I would go for. I do not. I know who I would go for. But it's a tough one. This is actually a very tough one. This is one of the more difficult votes we've had. We've had some ones that are very close. We've had some that are very separated. But we also have this one, which is going to be about 30 seconds left of voting. So keep on voting. We have a lot of people who are now popping into the chat room. I don't know if it's on Facebook or if it's on YouTube. It doesn't tell me, but it does show that we have a lot of people who are popping up right now. We are doing a bracket series. You've got 10 seconds left to vote for Pluto or Eeyore to move on to our next round here. But you have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go to our vote. All right, we got 1 vote for Pluto, 1 vote for Eeyore, 2 votes for Pluto. Right now it is a 2-1 vote. It's a 3-1 vote, 3-2. Eeyore gets a second vote. 4-2, 5-2, 6-2, 7-2, 7-3, 7-4, 8-4. It says Pluto. Oh, I love Eeyore too. My deciding factor is a character in action. Pluto is fun to meet. That I do agree with that too. But Pluto is going to be moving on to our next round here. Yay, Pluto! Pluto's the one that I would have chosen as well. We are going to attractions. By the way, this could be our last possible one tonight, unless we get more subscribers. Before we wrap up here, we are going through, or we're looking for 2 numbers between 1 and 6. Throw them into the comments, starting right now, 1 through 6. One through 6. We're looking for 2 numbers. 1. I didn't have to kill him. Other people killed him for me. It's like I hired a hitman. 6 and 4 is going to be our next one here. What is it going to be? Oh, it's an interesting one. This is okay. This is going to be a vote. Let me tell you, this is going to be a very good vote. I think this is going to be a very tricky vote for some people. But at the same time, there's some people who may not have experienced both of these attractions. So it could be a landslide. Let's start off with the newer attraction. The newer attraction can be found over at Pixar Pier. Pixar Pier, of course, is taking the place of Paradise Pier over at Disney California Adventure. Now, when Disney California Adventure did relaunch, Pixar Pier took the place of California Screaming, or it had an attraction take the place of California Screaming, which would be the Incredicoaster. On the Incredicoaster, you, along with the Incredibles, are caught in a whirlwind of trying to chase down Jack Jack, who has escaped. Along the way, you go through and you help Mr. Incredible. Jack Jack, you want a yummy cookie? You also have it so Mrs. Incredible there. We have a force field with Violet. You run with Dash, and overall, you have a lot of fun in this upside down fun attraction. However, it might be wonderful, but is it punderful? That's right. Let's talk a little bit about a classic opening day attraction at both Disneyland and Walt Disney World. I'm talking about one that goes on for Niles and Niles and Niles. And if you don't believe me, you must be in disbelief. That's right. We are talking about the Jungle Cruise. If you don't, I was going to start saying a line, and then I completely started saying a different line in my head, and I butchered both of them in my head as well. This is an attraction that most people take for granted. It is one of those attractions that has inspiration, and the longer you look at it, the more it inspires you to go deeper and deeper into the jungle. There are so many amazing jokes with the Jungle Cruise. However, I think we should talk about a few little fun facts about it. 1, this attraction actually started off as a fun, fine discovery journey, and it did not have any jokes at all. You would actually go through and they would give you fun facts about the giraffes, about the elephants, about everything, and it was not a fun attraction at all until Mark Davis stepped in and said, hey, you know what? You can have a lot more fun with this attraction. And he rewrote the entire script to be a wonderful experience for everyone with a lot of really, really, really cheesy jokes that we all love near and dear to our hearts. Not only that, this was also goes on record as Walt Disney's favorite attraction of all time. And with that in your mind, let's go do our vote. Which one would you like to have move on to the next round? the Jungle Cruise, or the Incredicoaster. You have about 90 seconds to throw your votes in, starting right now. Okay, I feel like this one's going to be a runaway, but we'll see. There's a I love the Incredicoaster, but I feel like the Incredicoaster might be done for. What's it going to be? You got about 30 seconds left to vote. Just a reminder, this probably will be our last vote of the evening. We might have one more vote coming up. Probably not. I'm looking at the things. We've actually gone down in subscribers, it looks like. We're currently sitting at 4,267. So the thing is, I had a video that went like, it all of a sudden got 3,000 views in 2 minutes. Like literally in 2 minutes, it went up 3,000 views. And usually when that happens, YouTube can't like correlate how many subscribers you're actually getting. So it kind of like estimates how many they think you're getting, and then it starts to drop them off. So that's why we went from 4,269 to 4,267 as the evening's gone on here. But if we get another subscriber here before I finish this next vote, we will do one more vote. So if we go to 4,268. All right, let's count up our votes. We got 1 for Jungle Cruise, 2 for Jungle Cruise, 3 for Jungle Cruise, 4 for Jungle Cruise, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 12. 12 for Jungle Cruise. We still have a few people who did not vote, but overall, that, my friends, is our very first ever shutout in this bracket series. We've had a few where people have thrown a vote to whoever they think it might lose, but this one actually was an all-out blowout. And because of that, let's do one last vote for the evening. We are going to miscellaneous 1 through 6. Throw your votes into the comments starting right now, or not votes. Throw your numbers between 1 and 6 into the comments right now. We're going to do one more. People could have subscribed. That is actually a very accurate statement. People might have unsubscribed because I killed Coda not once but twice. I cannot wait for us to have it so we possibly kill him again. All right, we got 3, 3, 5, and then another 3. Lots of 3s. 3 versus 5 is going to be our final vote of the evening, unless we get up to 4,268 subscribers here. Wait, was it 3 and 5? Okay. It's like I literally just read it like 5 times. Wait a minute, that's not it. 3. This is 3. This is it's a unique one. I like I think out of all the categories that we have, I think miscellaneous might be my favorite because I really don't know what's going to happen ever. Like, I feel like I should know what's about to happen, but this one, I think I know what's going to win, but I really have no idea. Because one is a restaurant and the other one is an attraction. So this all really comes down to, do you like to eat or do you like to watch things being eaten? And then you're probably thinking, what are you talking about? Well, because the one that would have it so you're watching things being eaten would be Kilimanjaro Safaris. Kilimanjaro Safaris has been the staple attraction at Disney's Animal Kingdom since April 22nd, 1998. Not only was it the signature attraction for the entire park, but it also is the largest attraction in Walt Disney World history. Not just Walt Disney World history, all of Disney history. In fact, if you would go through and take the landmass that is in Kilimanjaro Safaris, you could take the entire Magic Kingdom and the parking lot and throw it inside this entire attraction and still have room for more. That's how big this attraction is. Along the way, you are going through and having it so you're going on a wondrous 2-week safari just to find a bunch of different animals. Along the way, we see some Nile alligators, some Nile hippopotamus. We also see things like giraffes and rhinos and lions and ostrich and a whole lot more. And overall, it's probably the greatest 2-week safari that you've ever had in your life. Going up against it is also something that's probably the greatest you've ever had in your life, and that is for food. Now, I'm not a food person. We all know that I'm not a food person. However, tonight we actually have talked about food more often than we've ever talked about food on the show. But if you've ever been with me when we talk about different food options, there's one thing that I talk about more than anything else. Actually, I have reservations for this specific location tomorrow because every time the day before I do a 5K, I have to stop by and get a No Way Jose at Beaches and Cream. Beaches and Cream has been a staple restaurant over at the Beach and Yacht Club for so many years. It is one of the greatest restaurants found on Disney property, right up there with the Wahana and Liberty 2 Tavern, and it also has the best ice cream I've ever had in my life, a No Way Jose. 2 scoops vanilla, scoop of chocolate, hot fudge, whipped cream, peanut butter, chocolate chips, peanut butter chips, and a cherry on top. Overall, one of the best meals you'll ever have. However, we're not just talking about the No Way Jose here. We're actually talking about the entire restaurant because in addition to the No Way Jose, we also have several other classic eateries like things like the Banana Split. That's it. No, also have an amazing Reuben sandwich, an amazing French dip, and a whole lot more. Overall, it is one of the greatest dining experiences that anyone could ever have on Disney property, but that brings it to you have to have a reservation for Beaches and Cream. It's not a quick service. So there are two different parts of Beaches and Cream. There's a sit-down restaurant, and then there's also a pickup window that you can go to. I like the pickup window better. However, my friend who always does the races with me, he likes doing the sit-down experience. So we're doing the sit-down experience tomorrow, which you need a reservation for. But that is going to bring us to our next vote. You have about 90 seconds to throw your votes in for what you would like to have go in next or go through to the next round next. Is it Beaches and Cream or Kilimanjaro Safaris? Throw your votes in starting right now. This is my pizza. This is my burger. This is my chicken. Beaches and Cream. We got. I feel like Safari is going to win this one, but it's better safe than sorry. I absolutely love a No Way Jose. It's literally the only thing I'm going to get tomorrow. I'm not going to get food. I'm going to get the No Way Jose. Like that's just the way it is. But the Safari, holy cow. What an amazing, like literally, like when you think about it, what a great attraction. Like the idea that they could put that many guests through an hour on these massive trucks and have it so they're doing a spiel, they're looking for the animals, they're interacting with you, the guest, and then along the way, you're also going through and seeing real life animals in a recreation of their natural habitat, but it's very, very accurate to what their natural habitat would be. Amazing attraction. Amazing Beaches and Cream. So many amazing. Let's get to our vote. We got one for Beaches and Cream, one for Safari, two for Safari, 2-1 right now, 3-1 vote, 4-1 vote, 5-1, 6-1, 6-2, 7-2, 8-2, 8-3, 9-3, 10-3, 10-3. It was better than when they had Little Red Storyline. I do agree with that. I think Little Red Storyline was better. So there's this is actually a pretty good question. By the way, so Kilimanjaro Safaris is moving on, but I want to answer this question because I think this is a funny question. So there's a waiter inside the restaurant. His name is Brian. Brian has been there for a long time, and Brian is one of those guys who has just a great memory where he sits there and he kind of like he's very like one of the friendliest guys you'll ever meet. He's such a friendly guy. And you go there, you talk to him, and he just kind of remembers people, especially people who go there often enough. And it became a tradition because I forced Frank to make it a tradition. We go to the Beaches and Cream the night before the 5K for every race weekend. And there's 4 race weekends every year at Walt Disney World. So we go there the day before the 5K every time without fail. And now when Brian sees Frank and I in there together, he goes, "Oh, it must be a race weekend." And there's other times where he sees me and he's like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" Another No Way Jose. I mean, he knows the No Way Jose as soon as I walk in. He knows that that's what I got. In addition to that, when I first moved down here, I had just come out with From Screen to Theme. And when I came out with From Screen to Theme, I was doing pretty good with sales at the start. And then, of course, like everything, it's just going to kind of, dip down. And I remember one of the first things I did, when I first moved down here was I went to Beaches and Cream after I sold like 20 books or whatever it was. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to go celebrate. I sold 20 books, this week. And I went to Beaches and Cream, and Brian was there. And I told him, I was like, yeah, I just moved down here. I just sold 20 copies of this book. And he's like, oh, you should come back and celebrate again. And so like the next week, I think I sold it was like 15 in a day. And I was like, oh, maybe I should just go to Beaches and Cream and celebrate. So I went over to Beaches and Cream and I celebrated the 15, and Brian was my server again. So throughout the years, I don't think he knows my name, but he, like, as soon as he sees me, he's like, hey, how you doing? No Way Jose. So yeah, he knows that I'm going to have a No Way Jose every time. Actually, he's the guy who was with me the one time when I had 2 No Way Jose's. So yeah, it's not bad. It's fun. I love Beaches and Cream. They're great people over there too. Cody can now enjoy fried chicken and all the No Way Jose's he wants. That's true. And share them with Eeyore. Eeyore doesn't want any. All right, let's check our subscribers. Have we gone up at all? We are still at 4,267. So we are going to be wrapping up our things right there. You guys all already got one extra bonus thing. So I think that is pretty good. Okay, so we are going to be wrapping up right here. As always, tonight's episode is sponsored by our Patreon pals. Patreon pals. Aren't you glad that they're not smelly? Also, if you're a Patreon pal and you're the chat, give a woot woot right now. Come on, woot woot. Anyone? No. Or an oh yeah, because I like oh yes. Okay, we are going to be going through where everybody knows your Sunday, and they're making a way in the world today takes everything you got. A No Way Jose, Norm. I don't know. We are going to be wrapping this up right here. Keep on watching those videos. We have gone up a total of 64 subscribers since last Wednesday's show. So keep it going. We are going to keep on growing every single time you see one of those videos pop up. Make sure you give it a like and keep on spreading the word as well. You guys are all awesome. We will see you guys Saturday for a Saturday in the Park. Otherwise, we will see you next week for sure. As always, remember that anything can happen if you let it. Until next time, have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye. Goodbye now. Bye-bye. Goodbye now. Bye-bye. Bye now. Are they gone? Are they gone? Oh, good. My cheeks are just killing me. I just can't